The pectoral girdle is the group of bones that connect the arm to the axial skeleton, the clavicle and the scapula. It is important to know the landmarks of the scapula as they are important components for both muscle and ligament attachment. We covered the clavicle last week in part of the thorax. The scapula, however, is more complicated than the clavicle with a number of important landmarks. Firstly, there are the borders. We have the superior border, which is on the top, the vertebral or medial border, which is closest to the vertebral column, and the axillary or lateral border, which is closest to the axilla or armpit. Because it is more of a triangle, we refer to this inferior point as the inferior angle. This is the spine of the scapula, and it is important because it separates the two fossas, the supraspinatus fossa and the infraspinatus fossa. These are important for muscle location. We also have two main processes. We have the acromion process, which is a continuation of the scapular spine and hooks over anteriorly. It articulates with the clavicle at the acromion end to form the acromioclavicular joint. We also have the coracoid process. It is a smaller hook-like structure on the lateral edge of the scapula. It points forward and together with the acromion process serves to stabilise the shoulder joint. Finally, we have the glenoid fossa. This is the junction with the humerus. These components all come together and form a very mobile ball and socket joint. So this is the humerus. We have the proximal end and the distal end. On closer examination, we also have the head of the humerus, which fits into the glenoid fossa of the scapula, as we just discussed. We also have a number of sites for muscle attachment. Laterally, we have the greater tubercle, and just inferiorly and medially, we will find the lesser tubercle. These are the attachment sites for rotator cuff muscles. Separating the two tubercles is a shallow groove, which is referred to as either the intertubercular groove or sulcus or the bicipital groove. This groove holds tendons of muscles such as the biceps brachii. As we move down the shaft of the humerus, we will find the deltoid tuberosity. This is a roughened or slightly raised area, which again is a site of muscle attachment. On the distal end, there are two condyles. The capitulum, which is more lateral and articulates with the radius, and the trochlea, medially, which articulates with the ulna. The capitulum looks like half a ball, while the trochlea looks like a spool of thread or an hourglass on its side. There are also two epicondyles, the lateral and the medial epicondyles. On the posterior surface, you will find a deep fossa called the olecranon fossa, which helps to make up the elbow with the ulna.